Hello and a warm welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. We've got lots to go through the day. Heck of a lot to go through the day, actually. So let's say quick hello to John first. How are you doing, John?
I'm all right, Sander. How's yourself?
Yeah, it's still on a high after Wednesday night, John. That was just beautiful, wasn't it? That, last 10 minutes getting that goal. Outstanding. What a feeling as well, John. So, getting the 3 points in the bag was the most important thing. The performance didn't matter, especially in the conditions. So, we'll go through the Aberdeen game a wee bit later, John, but we're going to go through the preview of the Hibs game first today, John. So let's get into that right away. Just a wee bit of housekeeping first. If you can hit the subscribe button, please, and the like button, that would be appreciated. And switch on your notification bell as well. Just maybe a couple of wee snippets of news, John. Kilmarnock in the Scottish Cup. The Poppy boy, Derek McInnes, Poppy boy, showed up at Ibrox the other night, gubbed 6-0. That's embarrassing, to be honest with you. To be perfectly honest with you, that's embarrassing. But it's Kilmarnock in the first round of the Cup for us, John. What do you think of that? Kilmarnock in Scottish Cup at home?
I'm happy enough with that. I'm sure Poppy boy, he won't be happy with it.
No. She would dread it. So that's on the 18th of January anyway. That's on Premier Sports, a 5:30 kickoff on the 18th of January, and that's a Saturday, by the way. So another funny kickoff for us there, John. 5:30 in the evening on a Saturday.
Is what it is, isn't it? Television dictates all games now, so you just need to get used to it and accept it.
Yeah, okay, let's quickly move on then, John. Just before the game starts on Saturday against Hibs, you can take your kids to see Santa in Celtic Park. So take your kids along to see Santa Claus, folks. 11:30 just before the game. That's in the west corner stand, John. So you'll get to see the kids will get to see Santa Claus there. That's a nice thing Celtic have done, I think.
Aye. I've no time for Christmas at all, Xander. But it's like when I was obviously younger, I liked it. But it's good for the young ones to go and see Santa and all that. I remember that time when I was young. It's always it's a brilliant time for the Waynes, isn't it, Christmas time, and it is a good thing Celtic have done. But me personally, you know what my feelings on that this time of the year, I don't really like it that much. Just add sleigh bells to any song and you've got a Christmas song.
Aye, that's true. Old Scrooge, yeah.
I just have no time for it at all. I like Christmas Day right enough. I just don't like all the the big build up and all that. It just drives me insane.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, to be fair, John. So, okay, so take your kids to see Santa Claus, southwest corner stand, 11:30 at Celtic Park, just before the game on Saturday. All right, John, let's get into the big build-up then. More importantly, the big build-up. Hibs, another 3 points up for grabs here, isn't it? Vital. Every 3 points is vital, but this is just to keep the ball rolling after a fantastic 3 points at Pittodrie. And obviously, we've got Europe next Tuesday as well, John, so we've got to bear that in mind as well. So, will he make the changes because we play in Europe on Tuesday? Remember, he made the changes last week because we were playing Aberdeen. So will he make more changes, Brendan? We'll wait and see. I've not listened to the press conference earlier on. I've not heard that yet. But as far as I know, everybody's fit and ready and available for this one, John. Chris Graham, he's the referee for the game on Saturday. And Stephen Traynor, he's on the VAR. John, I've not heard any two of them.
No, me neither. Maybe they're getting rid of the trash that we've got in the Scottish game, bringing in some new blood, try them out, see if they're any better than the absolute rubbish we've got right now.
Yeah, that's true, John. And as the referee on Wednesday night, we'll get to Wednesday night very soon, folks, I promise, but we want to do the preview of the big game on Saturday first. But Don Robertson wasn't much better on Saturday, was he? He really was quite poor, to be honest with you. And then you've got your man on the VAR, that was Dallas, wasn't it? Disallowing a perfectly good goal. But we'll get to that, as I say, John. We'll get to that. Let's continue with the Hibs game. So, Hibs, John, they hadn't won since September up until the last game. So, terrible form for Hibs, but they got a brilliant 3-0 win, didn't they, at the weekend over Motherwell. So, and they had that 3-each draw with Aberdeen just before that as well, John. So, just hitting a wee bit of form just before Celtic play them, John, but I don't think that's going to make a great deal of difference. But do you think?
I don't think so. No, there will be changes to the team. I think Brendan's wanting to try and get this Europe thing over the line. Getting into the playoff stages, see what happens there. But I think there'll be a few changes. And Hibs, no, there won't be any pushover this week, I don't think. But there's going to be changes. Hibs are going to be a tough team. I've hit a wee bit of form, and you know what happens when teams start to hit a wee bit of form. They come to Celtic Park and tend to that form goes out the window.
Yeah, that's it, John. It's Hibs always give us a tough game at Celtic Park as well. They always turn up against us, just as every other team do, I suppose, isn't it? So we'll get into the predictions for the lineup, because I think we'll make changes for the Zagreb game as well, to be honest with you. But let's stick with Hibs for now, John. That 3-0 win over Motherwell, that was a good result for Hibs. But as I say before that, John, it was 5 losses and 4 draws for Hibs. Terrible, absolutely terrible form for Hibernian, John. So, and also Quan, the on-loan Celtic player, he's not available for this one because he's a Celtic player, John, so we'll not get to see our midfield maestro, Quan.
Aye. He never starts for Hibs anyway, Xander. I think he just comes on as a sub, so even if he could play, I don't think he would start anyway.
Yeah, it's I think Celtic could have allowed him to play this one, to be honest with you, but it's just, I suppose, rules are rules, aren't they? Okay, let's move on again, John. We're rapidly running through this. Players to watch, our players to watch for Hibs. Chris Cadden, Newick, John, another one, Johan, Hoylett. They've got a sprinkling of decent players, Hibs. So there's a few to watch anyway, John. But I just think, obviously, I don't know, but I just think we're going to be too strong, too powerful for Hibs, too pacey as well, John. A lot of pace in our team. Let's go through the team then, the Celtic team, John. Let's go through our wee predicted lineup and who we think's going to start as well. Because you've been ringing the changes the last couple of games. Kyogo one game, Ida the next. We've been starting with Bernardo some games. We've been starting with Luke McCowan in another game, and then Engels has been dropped to the bench. We've also been starting Alex Valley on the left. Just changes throughout the team, John, but I think there's going to be a few changes yet again. But we'll let you go first, John. What you're thinking? What's your predicted lineup, and a wee explanation why, John, he's going to make the changes?
There is going to be changes, there's no doubt about that. Europe's important to Brendan, also as the leagues, but I'm going to go for just the basic Schmeichel. I'm going to say Trusty and Scales, centre halves. I think he'll start with Alistair Johnson and take him off if we've got a comfortable lead at half time, and bring on Anthony Ralston. The left side's always tricky for me. I think he's going to start with Valley. I don't know, but I'm going to go for Valley there. So it's going to be Scales and Trusty with Johnson and Valley. Centre of the park, Callum McGregor, Rio Hatate and Luke McCowan. Up front, I think it's going to be Ida, because he wants pace in Europe. He's going to use Kyogo for Europe, I think. And left-hand side, James Forrest. Right-hand side, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
He might play Yang on the right. I think he's going to rest Kuhn and Maida for Europe.
Yeah, we don't know, John, do we? But I find it interesting you went for McCowan there to start the game. I think Luke has to start more games, to be honest with you, John. I really do. But that's all down to Brendan. That's up to him. Look at the difference he made in the Aberdeen game as well when he came on. I just think some of these games, some of these tougher games, up at Pittodrie on a stormy night, it's crying out for players like Luke McCowan. And that's not to say that Luke is a battler. He's just a battler, John. The boy's got plenty of talent as well. But I think I agree with you, John. I think he's going to start with Luke McCowan against Hibs as well. So I'll run through mine. I think it's going to be Johnston, Carter Vickers and Scales, John, for me. And then he's going to play Taylor on the left with Callum, obviously, in the holding role. Rio Hatate, Arnie Engels, John, I think he's going to get the start this time. John. I think he's going to get the start. So I said Rio Hatate there, John. I meant Luke McCowan. So I think it's going to be Luke McCowan and Arnie Engels, believe it or not. Yeah, I think that's what the midfield's going to be. Then up front, it's just your usual three: Intik, Kuhn, Kyogo and Dyson. John, I think he's going to go with Kyogo, even though we have got that big European game in midweek. I think he's going to look at this as a vital 3 points. You know, he just wants to keep that machine running, you know, ticking over. I think he's going to start with Kyogo. Just a couple different for you there, John, but neither of us know what's going to happen, John. He could start with Bernardo, you know, he could start with Rio. We don't know. We just don't know. We're just guessing at this point. But it's going to be an interesting game, John. It really is. Because, as I say, Hibs always give us a game, and they've just had a wee bit of form with a good draw against Aberdeen and that win against Motherwell, as I said last weekend, John. So that brings us to the predicted score. You know, I think it's going to be tight again, John, similar to Aberdeen. But we're at home, 60,000 in that stadium on Saturday, John. It's going to be a packed house. I don't know, John. I'll let you go first, John. What are you thinking? What's your predicted score, buddy?
My lineup was just basically trying to think what Brendan would be thinking. I don't know what Brendan Rodgers thinks. I've not got Brendan's mind, but that's what my prediction was based on. Anyway, I could be totally wrong. Scoreline, I think it's going to be a clean sheet. I'm going to go for Celtic 4, Hibs 0.
A convincing one for John. I'm going to say tighter, John. I'm going to go 2-0. I think with these changes, you know what happens when we make these changes? We have to rely on the subs. You know, sometimes that happens. But then you look at the Ross County game, we made all those changes, John, and we were flying the first half. So it could be that. It could be, you know, the other way around, I suppose. It could be tight with making the changes. So I'm going to go for a tight game, but on a slightly improved Hibs, 2-0 Celtic, John. So that's it, John. That wraps it up. But as I say, the most important thing for us, John, is the 3 points. With the Rangers having a tricky tie, John. The floodlights just came on there, so sorry, a tricky tie up at Ross County, John. So you know, no Gimme there, no Poppy Boy there to help them out, John. Ross County will always give Rangers a tough game. That'll be close. So if we can get the 3 points, John, that would be a massive bonus for us with them going up to Dingwall.
Aye, of course, they've hit a wee bit of form. That's 2 games in a row they've won. So, aye, but Ross County is always a tricky venue for any team. Doesn't matter who you're going up there. You know, freezing cold, winter's day. It's a tough place to go. But good luck, Ross County. Of course, that's all I can say about that. No interested in them.
Yeah, John, that's right. We're not interested in them because we're so far ahead. We don't even need to think about them. But we'll touch on the games anyway, John, just before we get to the Aberdeen game, because they play on the Sunday, John. If we win our game on the Saturday, then that's a massive 14 points gap with them having to go up to Ross County. So that's why we have to mention it. It's massive and puts massive pressure on them because I think they're now our closest challengers. Aberdeen are on free fall, aren't they? They play St Johnstone on Saturday, same time as we kick off, 3 o'clock. Aberdeen St Johnstone, a wee quick prediction for you, John.
Aberdeen St Johnstone, I think Aberdeen will get back on form with a win here. I'm going to go for a tight 1-2-1 Aberdeen.
Yeah, I wonder if Holt will help Aberdeen with his own goals, and he's taking two minutes to walk off the park with 3 minutes to go when it's 1-0 looking for an equaliser. I don't let these things go, by the way. So, I'll go 2-1 Aberdeen, John. So next up, we've got Dundee United against Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock dreadful against Rangers. Dundee United on a wee bit of form as well, John. So only 1 winner for me there. But what are you thinking, buddy?
Aye, I'm on the Arabs. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going for a 3-0 Dundee United win.
3-0 to the Tangerines. Okay, 3-1 to Dundee United. Yeah, okay. Convincing one for me as well. Hearts Dundee, John. Hearts rock bottom of the league. They're in big trouble. Dundee, decent team. Good strong team, Dundee as well, John. But it's at Tynecastle. What's your wee prediction?
Just absolutely annihilated Motherwell, didn't they, Dundee?
Yeah.
Aye, I'm going to go for a Dundee 2-0 win there.
Okay, 2-0 for the Dens. I'll say a wee draw. My first draw of the weekend, I'll say a 1 each there. And finally on the Saturday, we've got St Mirren against Motherwell. Motherwell, they're on free fall as well, John. They're playing really poor just now. Old Kettlewell, isn't it? You know. So what are you thinking, John? St Mirren, Motherwell?
That's a St Mirren win for me. That's a 3-1 St Mirren.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. 2-0 St Mirren as well. But finally, Sunday, we've got the Rangers up to Ross County. So it's the Rangers against Ross County up at Dingwall, John. What's your wee prediction there, buddy?
2-0 Sevco.
You going a comfortable win, comfortable-ish win?
Aye, I think so. I think they've hit a wee bit of form after that European game. They got that 4-1 win against Nice C team. And then they beat whoever it was, and then they obviously won the other night. So I am going for a comfortable win for the Sevco, 2-0.
Yeah, they also went up to St Johnstone and they should have lost, well, at least drawn the game, John, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go with the draw. So 1 each for me, Rangers up at Dingwall. Ross County, good luck to Ross County on Sunday. Right, John, that's it. That wraps up the preview of the Hibs game. Good luck to the Hoops. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. I mean, when Celtic play, John, you just look forward to it now, don't you? It's even though some of the games we do struggle, but we always seem to get the results just now, and that's the main thing.
Aye, the results are there. Aye, wasn't a great performance against Aberdeen, of course, but you know, the correct result was dished out in the end. I thought Celtic thoroughly deserved that as well.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to go into just now, John, the Aberdeen game. Let's get into it right away then, because we didn't do a post-match on this. This is our first chance to talk about it. What a relief that was, John, when that ball hit the net. It really was brilliant, because the game at Ibrox had finished. They had won 6-0, remember, and it looked as though we were possibly going to lose 2 points, although it would still have been a decent draw up at Pittodrie in the conditions, John, to be honest with you. I mean, let's have a wee word on the weather to start with. 70-mile-an-hour winds I was hearing at some points during that game, John. So to come out of there with a win with the conditions, I mean, I know both teams had to play those conditions, but you know, John, a team like Celtic that likes to keep the ball on the deck, pass the ball about, play some nice silky fit ball, John. The conditions it was just a leveler, really. You know, pouring a rain, blowing a gale, freezing cold, just a miserable night to go up to Pittodrie.
Aye, it's always a miserable night up in Pittodrie, isn't it? Winter time. The rain blows up the way. Aye. As if watching that, I was like thinking, imagine playing out in that. That's just horrific. But job done. Job done. Aberdeen's fans had their wee tifo out in their fireworks. That's their World Cup game, isn't it? Their World Cup final. Celtic coming to Pittodrie, trying to raise their spirits to their fans and their players and all that. Same old outcome.
Yeah, same old outcome, John, and it was just lovely, absolutely lovely. You just picture the Rangers fans walking home from the game, listening to their radios or whatever they do nowadays on their phones, you know, after beating Kilmarnock 6-0, thinking they'd clawed back 2 points, and then boom, in it goes. Rio Hatate. Yeah, brilliant, just a brilliant night. It really was. But I'm hearing a wee bit snippets on news today, John, regarding the Aberdeen songbook, right? This isn't new news, John. This has been going on for decades, absolute decades. The Aberdeen fans singing vile songs towards Celtic fans. You know, it's nothing new here. So we're not even going. I just want to mention it because it's in the news just now, that their songbook, and it is quite vile, but it's nothing new, John, is it?
You know, I've never really paid much attention to it, what Aberdeen fans sing to Celtic fans. I've never really noticed it, to be honest with you, but Wednesday night, it was loud and clear for all to hear, and it's disgusting. So they've went right down in my estimation since I heard that. Aye, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. What can you do about it? What can you do about it?
Yeah, John, yeah, you're right. It's quite bad. And we only like Aberdeen because of they give Rangers a game every time they play them, and that will continue for me. But you know, I took my wee grandson Matthew to Celtic Aberdeen last season at Celtic Park, and you know, you're trying to cover his ears with the songs the Aberdeen fans are singing. That was last season, so there's nothing new here, John, to be honest with you. So let's move on back to the football, John. Let's move it on. The atmosphere, apart from the singing, John, the atmosphere the Aberdeen fans provided was quite good. You were right, John. The fireworks, the tifos, just a good atmosphere for them, to be honest with you. But the Celtic fans just put that to the back of their heads. They don't even notice it, John. They just play the game. Nothing phases the Celtic boys, John. Even though it wasn't the best performance in the world, we did sort of limit Aberdeen to a handful of chances, I would say, John.
They had a few half decent chances. I think they should have equalised right at the end, right enough. Chance was fortunately blazed over the bar, but they got a corner kick for that, which I didn't see any touch on the ball from a Celtic player.
Yeah, John, I think there was a block. Actually, I didn't see it myself, to be honest with you, but I think there was a block. Even Big Vickers has come out and said that he got it over the bar. So they should have equalised there, John. That was a pure touch for Big Trusty, wasn't it? He should have cleared his lines a bit better. Fell straight to Sokler right over the bar. So that should have been an equaliser in the 77th minute. But what a defender Big Cameron is, John. He's just a brilliant big defender. And it's great to have him in the team. You think he's going to be rested against Hibs? I think he'll start. But it wouldn't be a bad idea resting him, John, because, we do need the big man there for Europe. We can't risk any injuries.
Aye, he's important to Brendan. That's why I think he'll be rested, because he has had a lot of injuries, Carter Vickers. So I think Brendan will want to keep him wrapped up in cotton wheels under for the game in midweek.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see, John. We'll wait and see. But a couple of wee bits I wanted to chat to you about, John, regarding the game on Wednesday night. The yellow card for Alex Valley in the 34th minute. This was, it's Alex Valley that gets fouled. It's a free kick to Celtic. I couldn't believe I was watching here. This is Don Robertson, isn't it? And he actually gets a yellow. He actually gets a yellow card for being fouled, and a free kick to Aberdeen. John, what did you think of that? Can you remember back to the one I'm talking about, the 34th minute?
I remember exactly the incident you're talking about. Aye.
What did you think of that, John? That was disgusting. That decision for me, disgusting.
It was a free kick for Celtic all day. He's wiped Alex Valley out, and Alex Valley get booked for it. So what Don Robertson's seen there, you'll need to ask him. I've absolutely no idea what he's seen there, and that's partly why I says at the start when you mentioned the referee for the Hibs game, it's going to be better than the absolute garbage we've got right now.
Yeah, that's it, John. That was unexplainable, shall we say, the Twilight Zone. I know the Aberdeen fans will make a lot of noise, but as a referee, you've got to overlook that and play the game and know the occasion, don't you? And then this other one, John, the disallowed goal from a corner Bernardo direct for a corner right into the net. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here, John, but I didn't see any infringement. Maybe you're different, John, I don't know. For me, it was a corner. Because of the swirling wind, it took the ball right into the net, John, and it went to VAR, and Dallas, I was going to say Hugh Dallas here, but isn't Hugh Dallas, it says boy, isn't it? Dallas on the VAR, John, seen some sort of infringement and disallowed a perfectly good goal for me.
If that was Celtic, you've got to look at it this way. If that was Celtic and some team had scored that goal, let's say Aberdeen scored that goal, would you be looking for it then? Would you be saying that's an infringement on the keeper? I don't know. To me, that's a perfectly good goal chopped off, Sander. I know I'm a Celtic fan, but to me, how tall's Maeda? 5'8" or something like that against a 6'5" keeper. He's just standing in front of him, and the ball goes into the net, and the goal's chopped half. For me, that's a perfectly good goal, chopped half, and disgusting by the officials, if you ask me.
Yeah, I tried my hardest, John, to look for an infringement. I rewound it, I paused it, I slow-moed it down, I did everything to try and see this infringement. What is Dies and Mead meant to do? Disappear, go turn into the invisible man. He's just standing there, John. He's just standing there. He's allowed to stand there. And he went to VAR, and Dallas has chopped. Well, the referee initially chopped it off, didn't he? And then it went to VAR, and he stood by the decision. So I didn't see it, John. I didn't see any infringement. All I saw was a ball being whipped in at pace because of the wind, and it goes directly into the net. It bounces fast directly into the net, and it's a perfectly good goal. When we were screaming for a goal at that point, John, weren't we? So
well, like I says, if that was happened, if it was a Celtic goalkeeper, would you be looking for an infringement on the Celtic goalkeeper? If it happened to Kasper Schmeichel, I would say, nah, there's nothing in that.
Well, if there's an infringement, I would be looking for it, John. But as you say, there's nothing there. I don't know if I've got green tinted specs on the new, John, or when I was watching it, because I didn't see anything. I just didn't see it. If I seen it, I would say there was a slight tug, there was a whatever, but I didn't see anything, John. Honestly, that was bad. Another terrible decision. And then we've got these. Let's move on for that, John, because we can't do anything about it. We can mention it because we've won the game. It'd be sour grapes if we didn't win the game, but people would say it's sour grapes. I mean, but we can mention it because we won the game. And then we've got Duke diving all over the place as well, John. Aberdeen player Duke. Many times did he dive? Did he eventually get booked for it? I don't know if he did. I don't think he did get booked for it. But a couple of times Duke diving all over the place, John. That's just poor sportsmanship at the highest level, isn't it?
He never got booked for it. Again, it's pathetic. Everything about Aberdeen that night was pathetic. Their players, their fans, everything. The officials, pathetic. You just can't stop Celtic. It's as simple as that. Nobody can stop us. The juggernaut is under.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it, John? Let's hope we can carry that into Saturday. But let's move on, John. Let's get into the final few big points in this game, John. And the next big point is the goal, isn't it? And it's sublime. Absolutely. Rio didn't have much of a game, right? But for the wee man to pop up at that time with that finish, John, that beautiful finish, it sort of shinned it a wee bit, didn't he, actually? Like me, the old 7-a-sides. But no, John, it's a beautiful cross for Greg Taylor. What a pinpoint cross, right to Rio's foot. He controls it and buries it, John. Lovely finish past the goalkeeper, John. A finish Messi would have been proud of, to be honest with you, and puts the Celtic fans into raptures, John. Beautiful. What a finish. What an assist. And deserved from me, John. I think we deserved, because the last 30 minutes, 25 minutes, this one, we were pushing for the winner anyway. But when that ball finally hit the net, John, and I couldn't even celebrate it because of the usual nonsense with VAR, John, going to have a look at it. So I couldn't even celebrate it properly. But it was just lovely to see it cross the net, and VR allowed it, John. It was absolutely heaven.
It was beautiful, and it's all about the assist for me. That was beautiful. Celtic's had a lot of goals like that this season, the wee chip over the top. But it's not really all about the assist, because that finish was something special. Greg Taylor's chipped it into the box. Hatate's brought it down with his shoulder. And then the first time shot, it was exquisite. Absolutely exquisite. Celtic's scored a lot of that type of goal this season. Top quality finishes outside the box, chips into the box and volleys and all that. The goals this season have been unbelievable, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful finishes all round, John. And we were going to do a goal of the month. I totally forgot all about it, John. This is the start of December, so we'll start it for this month, right, John? I totally forgot about November, right? If you want to do a wee goal of the month in the next podcast, we'll do that, right, for November. But we'll start it from this month, John. But that's definitely up there, isn't it? Considering, John, not just the finish, considering what was involved and what was at stake with that goal, that was just sublime, absolutely beautiful. So it was. Okay, let's quickly move on then, John, because this is the one you think didn't get a touch over the bar. It's the block from Big Carter Vickers in the 85th minute. Should have been an equaliser, let's be honest. Slack in defence from Big Trusty there. He sort of tries to clear it, but he's falling back, and it falls to Big Sockler in the box. And out of nowhere, John, Big Carter Vickers stretches a leg out and tips the ball. He gets a deflection over the bar. It should have been one each. It wasn't one each. Thanks to Big Carter Vickers, John. Absolutely outstanding. The fridge. Outstanding, John.
I don't think he got a touch on it. Maybe he did. I didn't see any diversion of the ball where it looked like the flight was just consistent. And unless he did, and I've missed it, but I never seen any change in the flight of the ball. And if he did get a touch on it, it's world-class defending. That's all I can say, Xander. But me personally, I never actually seen any diversion with the ball. I think it just went straight over the bar. That's what it looked like to me. But I'm probably wrong. There probably was a touch. Everybody talks about it. So, aye, well done, Big Carter Vickers.
Yeah, John, I didn't see a touch either, to be honest with you. To agree with you, sorry, because but I think there was, because everybody's seen that there was, the player himself said there was, even the Aberdeen manager said that there was, so there must have been, but I didn't see it myself, to be honest with you. So well done, Big Cameron, outstanding, as I say. What a player it has been for the day he arrived at Celtic, isn't he? Okay, the big bit of action, John, the last bit of action in this one, Aberdeen at Pittodrie on Wednesday night, was the Shinnie red card that never was, John. Another brilliant piece of refereeing from Don Robertson. I think I said on the preview now he was semi-decent, but by God, did they prove me wrong. He's already been booked, Shinnie, John, and then he's hack, and it's a hack, by the way, on Army Engels in the 90th minute, John. No second yellow, no red card. We don't want to see players sent off, John, but we also want to see consistency. Because as you said earlier on, if that's a Celtic player, he's getting his marching orders. So, Don Robertson, John, so what did you think of this? You think it was a red card? I think you should have left it as it is because it's the 90th minute. What did you think?
Maybe that's what it was. It was a bit, look, you've got to referee the game fairly. It's a red card. It's not a straight red. It's a yellow card, which would have made 2 yellows, which means a red, of course. He's off the park, and the ref decided to keep the card in his pocket. It's just, again, just disgusting. It's sickening what you actually see happening against Celtic. And that other boy, Nielsen, is it? Kicking everything in green and white. He should have been off the park long before probably the hour mark.
Yeah, there's so much more, John, we could have went through in this game. Nielsen is another one. I mean, he must have committed about 6 serious offences before he was finally booked, and then continued to make offences after he was booked. So, yeah, John, you're right to mention that one as well. But the Shinnie one was more blatant, I think, because he was on a red card for a wee while in this one, actually. And then that tackle from the back, it was a tackle from the back, John. Sometimes these are direct red cards, but I think you're right. It was a second yellow, but it just wasn't given, was it? So well done to the officials. 10 out of 10 for the officials, including the Dallas on the VAR. All right, John.
I don't think Shinnie's a dirty player, by the way, Xander. He's a tough wee player. He's a Bruni type kind of player, Shinnie. I quite like him. I think maybe just a couple of tackles born out of frustration with Shinnie, but generally speaking, I quite like him. But it should have been sent off there. And I was going to point out before you move on, Brendan Rodgers talked to Big Nielsen at full time for a while. Had a good conversation with him. The last time I seen Brendan doing that with an Aberdeen player was Johnny Hayes, and ended up at Celtic.
Yeah, well, Johnny, maybe you've hit on something there. You never know. I don't know. You need to tidy up some of his tackling, to be honest with you. I thought he is a big, robust midfielder, isn't he? And we do need backup in the central defensive midfield, John. We mentioned that on the preview, didn't we? So maybe he's been listening to the podcast, Brendan. You never know. But we'll keep an eye on that one in January, John. We'll keep an eye on it. Still no rumours, by the way. They're still checked for rumours. I still don't see any Celtic rumours for the January transfer window. Okay, John. Individual player scorings. This is good this time, John, because for me I think the players deserve a high score when you take into account the conditions, who were up against second in the league, the atmosphere up at Pittodrie, everything else, that went against us, disallowed goals, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, Aberdeen. Anyway, so John, what's your individual player scorings? What are you thinking, buddy?
Hi. I think Casper had a decent game. Give him an 8. Thought he was good. Carter Vickers and Trusty, I'll give them both a 7.5. Alistair Johnson, I thought he had quite a poor game for his standards. He was quite quiet, I thought. I'll give him a 6.
Okay.
Who started on the left again?
Valley.
Valley. I thought he was half decent. I'll give him a 6.5. It wasn't the best performance from him.
Yeah.
But I thought Greg made an improvement when he came on.
Yeah.
Centre of the park, Callum McGregor. I seen him lining up a couple of wonder strikes. I'll give Callum a 7. I thought it was okay. Rio Hatate had quite a poor game with a world-class goal. Had another couple of chances. I'll give Rio a 7. I thought he was all right, Xander.
Yeah.
Bernardo started, didn't he? Was it Bernardo that started?
Yeah, Bernardo started, John. Yeah.
Honestly, you should do these podcasts right after the games, Xander, because I forget everything. He couldn't have made that much of an impression anyway. I'll give him a 7. I can't remember. I do remember him playing. He never did anything that annoyed me, so 7. It was quite a bland performance up until the goal, really, to be honest with you. Up front, Maeda never had a great game either, I don't think. I think the boy Devlin had him in his back pocket.
Yeah, and Devlin did say that, John, didn't he? We talked about that in the preview. You know, we're getting buys this time, he says, and he wasn't right, because Dyson got the better of him a few times, but he was watching Dyson a wee bit more closely, Devlin. I think you're right there, John.
Aye, I think Dyson was in his back pocket, Xander. I'll give Dyson a 5. I don't think he did anything.
Okay.
Kyogo tried, injured the keeper, of course, as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, isn't it? A 6 for his running about that he did. And Nicholas Kuhn never did that much to influence the game either. Tried his best, was getting involved in everything, of course. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, okay. And your man of the match, John?
Again, it's a tough one to pick a man of the match in that game. I don't know who to give it to. I was going to give it to Greg Taylor I know he only made a sub appearance, but I thought he was brilliant when he came on.
Yeah.
But I think I'll give it to. I'm going to give it to Rio Hatate, Xander. I thought he played okay. I know he wasn't that great, but he was getting involved in everything, and he had shots, and he was trying his best to break them down, and he scored a wonderful goal. So, Rio Hatate for me.
Yeah, he was attempting stuff. Sometimes it wasn't coming off into it. Sometimes it was, but at least he was attempting it, John. So, yeah, good man of the match for me there. Rio, I'll quickly run through mine. It's Michael 7, Trusty 7, Carter Vickers 8.5, Alistair Johnson 7, Tellers. Where am I getting that from? Alex Valley 6.5, Callum McGregor 7, Bernardo 6.5. Who else do we have? Rio Hatate 8. I'm going to give Dyson Maeda 7, Kyogo 7, Kuhn 6.5. It's the most uninfluential the wee man's been this season. We've just put it down to conditions. And my man of the match goes to Big Carter Vickers, John. So that's it, John. That wraps it up. 3 points in the bag, wasn't it? So that was beautiful. Takes us on to Saturday's game. We're just looking for another win, John. Doesn't matter about the performance for me, especially at this time of the season. The winter days, cold, wet, miserable like it is right now. Any sort of win against Hibs, John. A wee final sum up for you, buddy.
Definitely a wee win for Celtic. The more of that's what I'm looking for. Any kind of win. Take a 1-0 penalty. I don't care what it is, as long as we get the 3 points in the bag. I've just to sum it up, it's just like he says, we're just looking for any kind of win. I think we will win. I think it will be pretty comfortable, to be honest with you. There will be a few changes, and the weather, don't think it's going to be that great. I think it's going to be windy again and rainy. So, but listen, don't trust our weather forecasts. A wee fact, we've got it wrong 100% of the time.
Yeah, we need to start doing a weather check. Actually, that'd be a good idea. We'll maybe start doing that. But anyway, John, that wraps it up. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Comments will return on the next podcast, I promise, folks. I've just not got the time today. Good luck to Celtic on Saturday. Anyway, all the best of luck. Hope all the Wiggins enjoy going to see Santa Claus at Celtic Park tomorrow at 11:30. So hope you all have fun there as well. So that's about wraps it up, John. Good luck to Celtic. We'll see you all on the post-match, and hail for now.
Hail, mate. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you later, John. Bye-bye.